My name is Lindsay Bruce, and today I will be telling you about Thomas Nagel's story, What It's Like to Be a Bat. In the opening lines of his paper, Nagel states that his thesis is to explain how common examples do not help to understand the relationship between the mind and the body. His main ideas focus solely on the relationship between bats and humans. For this, he has a few arguments that are really precise and clear to my understanding, and they deal with the subjective and objective conscious and the sensory and activity differences between a bat and a human. On page 427 of his text, there was an example that he uses that was key to me understanding how the mind and body problem related to bats and humans. He talked of a alien Martian scientist with no understanding of visual perception. And he went on to say that he could come to study and to learn what the definition of rainbow, lightning, whatever it may be. I like to use rainbow because it's a visual example for me. How he came to understand what a rainbow's definition is. And then, even though he came to understand that, he would never truly understand what it feels like for me or any other human to witness or to see a rainbow. This was really the turning point in my reading because I had kind of been really lost before I read this part, and that one example was so visual to me that it allowed me to understand now what he was saying about how, due to that difference in the objective and the subjective, we can't relate to each other. He also used this as an example with the bat sonar, which is a more common example compared to the two, and he said that though we may come to understand the meaning of a sonar, we never will know what it's like to use it because we don't personally have it. All throughout his paper, he kind of jumps around, and it's hard to follow. So on page 428 of his text, he uses a really kind of good quote that to me kind of summarizes his ideas and explains them really clear in one sentence. He says, "If the subjective character of experience is fully comprehensible only from one point of view, then any shift to greater objectivity, that is, less attachment to a specific viewpoint, does not take us near to the real nature of the phenomenon. It takes us farther away from it." From this point, I was able to understand what he meant between the objective and subjective differences between a bat and a human. I believe that overall his argument was successful in the end, but I feel as though he could use a more precise way of explaining it. I feel like he took a long time to get to his point in the end, and I feel like he could have just had a better and more clear thesis to explain it to us. I also believe that he organized the paper more people would understand it and enjoy the paper, because once I got his main ideas, I really was like, thought it was really cool the way he explained it like that. But again, I think that he beats around the bush a little bit too much in the beginning, so that where it's hard to understand. Until I read the Martian example and that last quote that I read, I didn't really understand how he was relating the mind and body problem to the bat, and now I get it. Because of the conscious of the subjective and objective, it makes a lot more sense to me. And I feel like if he had started there in the beginning and then elaborated on it more, I could have understood it better. I do think it was successful in the end, though, due to the Martian example. I think that was the key turning point for his whole entire paper. Reading it, I didn't really form any questions because I was kind of at a loss for what he was talking about, and I didn't really understand it completely. I didn't have any objective things to say about it, though, because once I did understand his point, I agreed that I will never truly be able to understand the bat, or let alone any other human, because of the mind and body conscience. Because of the subjective and objective, I will never know what it's like for someone else to even see the rainbow, because I only know what it feels like for me to see the rainbow. I'll never know what it's like for someone else to taste something because it's their body, not mine. And this is really interesting to me. In the end, I do believe that I might not have grasped the whole moral of the story, as you could say, for what he wanted to tell us about, but I did enjoy reading it, and I do feel like I did get something out of it, which made me kind of happy in the end, even though it was a struggle to read through. And that is all. Thank you.